Okay, so this is just a quick little overview of the piece, how it came out and why it is the way it is. Being it is fairly perfect, if I may. I really tried to, as I usually do, go as anatomically correct as humanly possible. So I start off from a picture, which I throw into the program, and then work from there. In this case, it was this picture. Let's see. Which I chopped up and made work for the purpose. For this purpose, rather. And just to make things a little bit faster, I edited the roundness that was seen on the bottom of the fluke. What I was trying to do was I was trying to create a little bit of dimension. I really loved the dimension in my humpback whale tail that I sell. A challenge that I encountered was every example of a right whale I could find online was almost kind of dimensionless. They're very, correct me if I'm wrong, because I can always add dimension. The tail's very rigid. It's very flat. It doesn't bend like a humpback's tail. Yeah, I guess that's straightforward as that. You will notice point 2, it's a little bit wider around the ends of the fluke than I would imagine it to be for scale purposes. I did this for jewelry reasons. Nobody's going to notice. I'm just being thorough. I felt like the piece was too sharp. In fact, I even feel like these points here are going to be a little sharp and they're going to have to be rounded. Or maybe not. This is just something you encounter in the functional aspect of making jewelry. And expect this portion here of the bail, which will be the bail, to look much like the pictures that I had sent earlier. So currently what I'm going with is something with a little less movement, a little less bend, if you will. For like in this scenario, I would have, in this case, on the end of the fluke, I would have made the tail have a little bit more dimension. Actually, I can show you. Let's see. So this is actually my humpback tail, and my humpback tail, you will notice that it has a lot of dimension here. It's a lot wider, a little bit more square. That stuff comes out actually once you do the metal side of things. But I felt like these kind of dimensions weren't really going to work for the right whale. I felt like the tail didn't naturally ask to have movement. Feel free to send me some feedback and I can add dimension. But yet again, every single picture I found, the tail was pretty rigid. Yeah, so sorry if this was a little long-winded, but hopefully it got to the point. And last but not least, we will add the coastal studies marking to the back of the pendant. It will sit somewhere around here like in the image. The only thing that I think will be a challenge will be to get the actual words, the letters. Those details I think are going to be very hard to do with any sort of instrument, even a laser engraving. But we will be able to, with great definition, have the two whales and maybe some ovals around them as well. Alright, so yes, please feel free to tell Steph of any notes that you would like to give me before I send this thing out for production, and let me know if I went in the right direction. I'm happy to correct it. Sooner the better, of course. As Steph knows, this is the first part of the process. The second part is going to be going to the caster, where they're going to 3D print and 3D print and cast and mold and send me the mold that we can reuse, or rather keep the mold and be able to send me the copies when we require them. Alright, talk soon.